420 Magic Sesh. 420 Magic Sesh. Time for 420 Magic Sesh. Hello everybody, welcome in again. It is Friday, the time is 4:20, and you know what that means. It's time for another Magic Flight 420 Sesh.
Welcome in.
I am Hobbit.
And I am JMC.
That's right.
And we're your flight crew.
That's right. Reporting for duty.
Oh, yeah. So go ahead and grab your lunchbox for dried herb and flour.
And if you're like me and you prefer the concentrates, we'll grab your MD box because that's the perfect way to enjoy concentrates.
And dabs.
Or dabs.
And go ahead and join us as we kick back, relax, share some in-flight fun, and launch to a comfortable cruising altitude.
So starting off today's 420 Magic Sesh with some cannabis news, as we like to do. Anyway, there was a new study in the Journal of Drug Issues. They looked at Colorado and Washington, the first two states to legalize.
That's
so
right.
they have quite a bit of data going back, over 10 years now.
Yeah.
And they found that before the legalization, everyone was freaking out, saying if you legalize weed, people are going to be murdering each other in the streets.
Reefer madness.
Yeah, it's going to be mayhem and madness.
Exactly.
And as you all know, nothing of the sort took place. In fact, they've done extensive studies that showed there was no increase in crime in the states that have legalized at all. Exactly.
Yeah.
And in fact, violent crime, decreased in these states. Because it turns out somebody's hitting the Jack Daniels, they're a lot more likely to go out and cause trouble than somebody, who's enjoying some cannabis. Fairly intuitive stuff here, but nonetheless, nice to see data actually reinforcing, these concepts.
That's really good.
And disproving crazy people trying to say that weed shouldn't be legal. I'm not biased at all here.
Not at all. All right, Hobbit, tell us more.
It also turned out the study showed that clearance rates. Now, what clearance rates are is when it's not about product being on sale or anything.
Not that kind.
It's when police departments and detectives are investigating crimes. The ones where they successfully found out who did it and can bring them to trial. That's called clearing a case. And it turned out that after all the weed cases got removed from their workload, they were able to far more effectively actually find the people committing violent crimes and other real crimes and start to increase these clearance rates. So we're seeing violent crime drop. We're seeing police departments actually being able to solve real crime, and we're not seeing an increase in crime from marijuana legalization.
Fantastic.
What do you know? Big surprise. So today we are talking about wood. Hardwood.
As in the thing that we make our lunch boxes out of?
Get your mind out of the gutter.
We are primarily a wood shop.
That's right.
We do use 3 different types of wood for our lunch boxes. Maple, cherry, and walnut.
And so there's a color spectrum difference in these. The various natural features in the wood are found. And an interesting note is we don't use stain to get that color. That's the actual color of the raw lumber.
That's right.
The only thing we treat it with is organic butcher block mineral oil to preserve and allow the wood to last longer. Everyone likes wood that lasts longer. Everyone wants the wood to last longer.
That's also why there's such a large range of colors. It's because we don't treat it to make them all look the same.
That's right. Well, it turns out that wood has excellent antimicrobial properties. For example, they've done studies on cutting boards, wooden cutting board versus plastic cutting boards. And they found that the wooden ones have a much higher resistance to bacteria because wood naturally evolved to fight off, these kind of things as it's growing.
Absolutely.
Whereas plastic trees don't have to worry about any of that, So the choice to use wood was really, pivotal in the design of the launch box and actually is a tremendous advantage as well.
So the other reason that we use wood for our launch boxes is that it is natural, sustainable, and renewable. And there aren't really many other products out there that are like that are vaporizers especially.
Yeah, that's really true. Think about like most vaporizers, are either made of plastic or they've got like circuitry inside. Very rare to find something not just that made of wood, but that uses dependable physical science in order to achieve the vaporization rather than, like I said, a circuit board or, plastics and stuff. Yeah. And it's nice to know that you don't have anything else in that air path either, to worry about as well. Nice to have that peace of mind, So back in 2009 when Magic Flight first launched, we were actually making the launch boxes from California birch.
Wow.
And and we had gone around to all the local suppliers and we just bought everything that they had off of the shelves.
Wow.
And so we had to pivot, switching to maple wood. And it had a lot of distinct advantages over the birch, and namely the maple had a higher density, and you get such an incredible variety of unique natural features in the maple wood. Yeah. Also, sometimes you get spectacular patterns in the maple, which is something we're going to get to in a minute.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Don't give away our secret.
The next one we did was cherry.
Yeah. Yeah, so the cherry wood is not quite as dense as the maple, but it is one of our favorites to work with because the hue variations and the range specifically of colors are so beautiful.
It's really cool, yeah.
Yeah, it can be like a ruddy red to a more bright kind of peachy red.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
And then at the same time we released cherry, we also came out with walnut. But that's my personal favorite because I find there's a little subtle taste to the walnut, especially the darker colored walnut. Like it actually, adds a little bit of flavor to, to the draw, which I absolutely love, Yeah. And the walnut also has a really dynamic range from deep walnuts to a lighter shades. Some of them are two-toned and you get like all sorts of really cool effects with the walnut as well. Yeah.
Yeah, so you never really know what you're going to get when you buy one of our launch boxes because of the subtle color variations, or sometimes they're not so subtle. Yeah. Please direct your attention to your flight crew for an in-flight announcement.
I'm all ears.
We celebrate this holiday season of 2022 with a very special wood type launch box. We call it our holiday special edition Flame Maple launch box.
Fire.
It is fire, that's right. And you know what? You guys have been asking for a new wood type for a while, so here it is.
Yeah. And these didn't just come up in the last week or two. We have literally for years been putting aside the most special pieces of maple that we've found. After all this time, it is coming to realization, and it is here. The flamed maple is here. It's on our website right now.
So the reason that it's called flame maple is that there are shiny, iridescent bands of beauty.
It's so trippy.
That run perpendicular to the wood grain. It makes it look really, really awesome. It's actually one of those effects that you can only see if you're sort of moving the box around. So
like it reflects in the light and creates like a shimmering effect as you turn it. It's so cool.
Yeah, it makes it look super ripply and 3D and just so cool.
And the more you hit the box, the cooler it looks.
Definitely, probably true. You're gonna have to try it for yourself.
So the holiday season is upon us, and this year we are doing some special promotions. We are calling it our Holidays Special.
That's right.
And all throughout the month of December, each week we're going to be highlighting a couple of products, putting them on discount for you, and letting you know about it, and giving you an opportunity to pick up some cool new accessories or to learn about other products that we have that you might not know about. And it's going to be a lot of fun.
That's right. So go ahead and keep your eye on our social medias, and also join our Magic Tribe on our website if you want to stay tuned as to what it is will be on special that week.
The Magic Tribe is usually the first to know.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
We get it out there to the socials too, but Magic Flight, if you're in the Magic Tribe, you basically, it's like being here.
Yeah, you're part of our community. In fact, if you haven't and can't get enough of Magic Flight, you should definitely join our tribe.
Seriously, it's worth it. It's worth the time.
It is worth it. Just go. Just do it.
Just do it. She told you to. Yeah. So one of the fun parts of the job is getting all the love letters and fan mail that we receive. And each week we like to take a second and share one with you. So that's what we're about to do.
So this fan mail is from Eddie in New England. He says, My lunchbox has been with me for 5 years now, and I still get a kick out of it. Now that I'm a woodworker by trade, I appreciate Magic Flight's craftsmanship even more than I did when I first bought it. You guys are really one of a kind. Aw, thank you so much,
that's great.
Eddie.
Yeah, thank you, Eddie. We appreciate your kind words coming out of New England. So speaking of New England, as our fan mail was from Eddie in New England, one of the things that they're really obsessed with in New England is lobster.
Lobster!
Yeah, or as they call it, lobster. It's wicked good lobster.
That sounded like British or something.
Accents are not my forte.
But he is from the East Coast, so he's allowed to do this.
That's even more embarrassing how bad it is. I should have some local knowledge here, but I've been out in California for 20 years, which ironically is the same length of time that this lobster statue of Mickey Mouse has been missing. What lobster statue of Mickey Mouse?
Yes, I was about to ask.
You may ask. Well, in Quincy Market, which is this open air market in the Boston area, they used to have a life-size statue of Mickey Mouse with lobster claws.
It's not red, is it? I bet it's red.
It's lobster colored, very much. And so it was missing for about 20 years, but it has recently been tracked down and brought back to a local Boston shoe store and is now freaking people out again.
Living its best life.
I mean, look at this thing. I mean, what is that even?
What even is that? I don't know.
It definitely falls in the only in New England category. So if you are in the Boston area, go by and take a gander, get your selfie with the lobster Mickey.
Okay. Well, that's all we have this time. Thank you so much for flying with us today. Be sure to maintain that comfortable cruising altitude. And we will see you again next Friday for another 420 Magic Sesh. This is your flight crew signing off. Enjoy your flight.